If you've been keeping up with this, welcome back. This is visual-kei ABCs, where I talk about different visual-kei bands that I pick depending on letters. It was supposed to be weekly, but times have changed. I don't know when it's going to be weekly again, but I know I recorded visual-kei episode C part 1, and this is still letter C, but this is going to be part 2. I ended up choosing a band that I had some knowledge of. I just felt in my soul that I went against my own rules. I don't think I'll be doing that again. I think from now on, I'm just gonna stick to bands that I haven't really heard much from, or maybe just one song from. I don't know. The band that I listened to this time is Codomo Dragon. The reason why I chose to review Codomo Dragon despite me knowing, a few of their songs was because I didn't really know much about them. I just knew a couple songs and I really liked those songs and I really liked the way they look, so I was like, why not? When I had first heard about Codomo Dragon, it was through J-Rock News following the story about Kana's leaving the band. Not long after that, Sousou came out and I really like that song. Not that long ago, Codomo Dragon came out with Anonymous, and I really like Anonymous. So I was like, you know what? Let me get to know this band more. Let's look up this band. It's gonna be a pretty neutral video, so if you don't like lukewarmish reviews, then this video is probably not for you, because this is a very warm review. Warm hot chocolate review. All right, let's begin. What's up? My name is Savette. I talk about whatever I want to, whenever I want to on my channel, and today I'm talking about Codomo Dragon. There were 5 members, but now there are 4 members, but just for the heck of it, I'm gonna name all 5 members. There is Hayato on vocals, there is Kana on guitar, Menmen is on bass, there is Chamu on drums, and we can't forget Yume, who is also on guitar. Well, now would be the only guitarist. Wow, this is a train wreck. All that's left now is really Hayato, Menmen, Chamu, and Yume. I'm pretty sure Kana's gone. I didn't really follow the rest of the story to see if they ever got in contact with him, but those are the members that are left now, and they've been still releasing material. I reviewed 3 albums, Children's Dope, Wolfman, and Tegra Megra. On an average, I only liked maybe 1 or 2 songs from each album, but I'm gonna start off with Children's Dope. Listening to Children's Dope was the only other music I'd ever listened to from Codomo Dragon. I was kind of like impressed because it kind of showed their skill. They transition very well in their songs. They just switch the beat. They do it really well, because as you guys know, some bands just don't got it. Codomo Dragon has it. Whatever tact it takes to be able to switch in the middle of a song and still have it be pleasing and coherent, Codomo Dragon has it. All of it was a lot, but the one song that really stood out to me that I actually really liked was Emotive. Overall, a pretty average album. Nothing really bad to say. It was just meh. And then I listened to Wolfman. Wolfman came out in 2016. I pretty much listened to Wolfman right after I finished listening to Children's Dope. I listened to both albums back to back. I don't recommend doing that. I actually listened to Wolfman about 5 times because I kept just forgetting my opinions and everything was kind of similar, so it was kind of difficult to form opinions, but eventually I wrote something down because I always document my findings and my thoughts for these bands. Personally, I feel like Wolfman was a little bit more playful, repetitive, and upbeat. There weren't many songs that I really enjoyed enough to talk about or show you guys, but I did think Jikoshu was kind of nice and just a little playful. Kind of reminded me of Looney Tunes a little bit. That was the only song that I took note of on Wolfman, but even though I was listening to the music and things sounded similar, it still sounded like they'd made some progress from one album to the next. And speaking of progress, we can pretty much briefly go over Tegra Megra. Tegra Megra came out this year and I listened to it, and still the only song that really stood out to me was Sousou. I feel like Sousou was a masterpiece for them. I think there was a lot of meaning behind it, and I think it shows.
なっただけどいずれ訪れせめてさよならをつける日が来たやがて明日を奪うのなら色褪せない嘘をつこう後悔はないと
Definitely my favorite song on the album, but there was one other song that I thought was, you know, a little nifty, a little okay. I like Hayato's voice a lot, and his voice goes at different paces during this song. The song is called Siren. Of course, the transitions and the other beats were good. I mean, no complaints there. But I really liked his voice in Siren. And Siren and Sousou were what stuck out to me in the Tegra Megra album. Other than that, everything else was kind of just like fluff. And now for the almost finale, the likes and the dislikes. Likes. The thing that I like a lot about Codomo Dragon is they seem to have their style developed. It seems pretty solid. At no point did I feel during listening to any of the 3 albums that they were trying to find what sound direction to go into. They just seem like they just know, and I think that's really cool. You know, there's a lot of electronics, but it doesn't oversaturate everything. You have Hayato's voice, which is always pleasant, and even though the same guitar riffs, I guess you would call it, are used a lot, it still doesn't make terrible songs. They kind of just seem to have their thing down, and it's nice to be able to discuss a band that is still around. In my opinion, their screaming is also really well placed, and I am a stickler for screaming being in the right place. I don't like screaming just being anywhere in a song. And Anonymous, that's a pretty good example. Why not just stop the whole song to scream and then get back to the rest of the song? I'd rather you guys do that than just try to put screaming just anywhere in a song. To be honest, I don't really remember a lot of the screaming that I heard from listening to those 3 albums, but that is an area, yet again, that they just don't need to work on. They got their screaming down, they have their sound down. Maybe if they can change up the instrumentals, things will get even better. And that brings me crashing into the dislikes. The music is really repetitive. I don't think it's something where you should sit down and listen to it back to back unless maybe you understand Japanese. Lyrics make the experience a lot better. For me, it was really repetitive, and all the songs, they were just like mixed into each other. So I'd be listening to one song like, oh, okay, this sounds cool. But then I would zone out and I would be like 3 songs away from the song that I was originally listening to, and it was a mess. That's why I had to break up the albums and listen to them separately, because a lot of it is repetitive, especially the instruments. When they start releasing more singles, albums, music videos, etc., I probably won't listen to anything back to back, because for me it's just too repetitive. That is literally my only complaint. A lot of visual-kei bands tend to be repetitive musically, and I can't help it if I'm basic. It is made fun of how simple, especially music in the early 2000s and 90s, how simple the instruments were. But I can't help it. I like heavy guitar sounds, and they can be repetitive heavy guitar sounds. I like them. I think I'm just starting to become more aware of how things sound repetitive now that I'm older, since I've been listening to the same type of music for so long. Probably going to be a complaint you hear from me a lot in this series, because it happens a lot where a lot of music sounds the same, especially if you're listening to several albums at the same time. I don't think you're supposed to digest albums that way. I think you're supposed to like savor them. I have one more thing that I need to talk about, and it is their music videos. Their color palettes are very striking. Just the aesthetic of Codomo Dragon attracted me to them. They're just so cool. And they're good at making catchy songs. So you got the catchiness, you got the aesthetics. Hayato's voice is liquid gold. Maybe liquid gold is a bit much, but I really like Hayato's voice. I was watching a making of video, and I'd never heard Hayato talk before. He started talking, I was like, that's his voice? That is his voice? Okay, Hayato. Okay. He has a very nice voice. And then also Minmin's hilarious. I like them a lot. I like them a lot. So far in this series, I've only watched maybe a handful of making ofs, and the two ones that really stood out to me was Codomo Dragon, of course, this band, and Buglug. I really like the members. They just all seem like really cool dudes. Now, if only we can get some English translators on this godforsaken website, because I need to know what people are saying. 2007 YouTubers were on their grind getting these subtitles out for us to read. So people need to do better. Last word, the overall of everything. Codomo Dragon has good songs. It's just about finding the right song for you. Don't listen to their albums back to back unless you can understand Japanese. While their songs are repetitive, there are heavy sounds that I will like regardless. I don't care how you package them. If you put a visual-kei man in front of it, I will like it. I am very excited to see what else they come out with, especially music videos. Up-to-date, good quality music videos. I know the budget can be a little rough for this type of stuff until you gain a following, but I want more music videos. Things can always get better, but their use of electronics is not too much. It's not like disgustingly a lot of electronics, and I think they do that super well. I hope a lot of success comes to them in 2020. It's almost the new year. That's for another video, but that is my review of Codomo Dragon. Now I can go listen to letter D. I have like 5 bands listed for D, and I only gotta choose 2 or 3. And these videos are not getting any shorter. But I really want to do 3. I was gonna do Dada for letter D, but after this experience, I was like, nah, that's definitely cheating. I've been listening to Dada all year. No, let me not get started. I don't want to talk about Dada right now. Anyways, that is the end of my video. If you guys have anything to say about Codomo Dragon, just comment, ask question, leave your opinion about the video, just in case I don't get a video out before 2020. Peace out, and good luck to everybody. I hope you guys have a good New Year's. My New Year's is gonna be lit.